quick tip. Why do some artists flip their canvas? I'm going to show you why. Why would you even say it like that? Alright, so here I have a picture of this cassowary, and it looks pretty good, but I know that when I'm drawing at an angle and looking at things a certain way, and it kind of makes it, your eyes don't really catch some of the imperfections. So basically an easy way to fix that is to, whatever you've drawn, just make sure you're on that layer, and let me make sure you can see so you go down to press the pointer, and then you go down to flip horizontal. And now you can kind of see the imperfections. See how like this eye is a little bit smaller? It's just a bit wonky. It just looks a bit weird. It doesn't look as bad there, but now that I've flipped it, I can kind of see that it looks bad all around. So basically what I do, since I've already done a lot of the detail, I'm just going to choose liquefy, and I'm pretty much just going to even out the proportions. For example, see how this smile, this is like way bigger. So I'm just gonna stretch this out some. I'm just going to stretch the smile out some. And I'm just going to make it less, like, see how the eye, you have to make sure that the eye is like round. You don't want anything to be like wonky. Like, see this kind of goes up a little bit too much. I just want to make it rounder, more spherical. And see how the space here is a lot more than the space here. So I just want to, sometimes you can take the liquefy, and you can make it sort of big, and then you can just be on the edge, and you can sort of bring that out a little bit. For example, like here, like this is nice and round, and then this side is not too much. I can actually probably fix that just by redoing that line, but it still makes a big difference. And then I'm just going to smooth it out with the smudge. I'm just going to smooth out that line. It's another trick that I do. You just use the line to smooth it out. Okay, so it doesn't look too bad now, because he is supposed to be looking in one direction, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just has to be, it's just an easy way to make it so the proportions aren't too off. Before, the proportions were too off, and it just looked funny, and I could feel that it looked funny. So it's not so bad now. And it's important that the eyes are in the right spot. Another thing that's still a little bit off is you can tell that the space here is way different than the space here. Let's look at the photo. The photo, so what I can do to fix that, and also this eye, see this eye is touching this line and this eye isn't. That's a big difference. So I'm going to take liquefy. I'm going to make it smaller, and I'm just going to make it really small. I'm just going to work that out a little bit. to make sure I keep the eye round. But I still want to work this out a little bit. It's not so bad. It might be easier for me to sometimes it is also easier to just redraw it. You don't always have to use the liquify. Sometimes it's easier to just redraw something that you find that's off. And also, since I'm looking at it, it's way too much of a difference for me. So I'm just going to select all of this. I'm actually going to, and this may sound a little weird too, but another thing that I find myself doing is when I move things and I'll squint. I'll sort of literally just squint my eyes and see if it makes sense. I don't know why I do that, but I've always done it. There's just certain things, like if I'm just gonna eyeball something to make sure it's level, I'll squint and I'll just say, okay, that looks level. I don't know, it's weird, maybe it's just me. Let me know if anyone else does that too, but for certain things you can just kind of, oops, somehow there we go. For certain things you can just squint and it works. So since I've moved that, I just need to clear this up, and I'm just using the smudge to kind of fix those breaks. Smudge what I can, and then redraw his little cheek. I kind of have an issue with this too, but I don't think I need to go into that right now. So let's switch him back. So now he's just a little more proportionate. Feels a little bit better. I can probably go in and fix a little more things, but that's just because I'm a perfectionist. But I think it looks much better now. And just check your faces, like when you're doing a face, just like, you know, just check it. This is red, but it's a similar one to I just had, and you can see the difference. This just looks very wonky. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you can, hopefully you found that little trick useful. But yeah, as always, keep drawing, and I will see you in the next video. I don't know why I just gave you guys a thumbs up. Cut.